Good morning, Facebook. I am going blank already. Good morning, everybody. Kim Kelly, Audi Hampton Service and Parts Director, along with Larry Snyder, our shop foreman. As you see, we have a missing person today.
Yep.
Kevin Krantz, our Mercedes-Benz shop foreman. He's not going to be joining us this morning. Unfortunately, he is right smack dab in the middle of something, but he'll be back with us next week. But so we've got Larry, though, and Larry is going to talk to us about
We can do it.
tires. Yeah, we can do it. We got this. But I thought I'd leave the missing chair and, remembrance of Kevin. So
Absolutely. He'll be back.
He'll be back. So let's talk tires. I mean, they're round, they're
Black.
rubber, they're black.
Yep.
What else?
Well, okay. So let's talk a little bit about tires. So, most important thing about a tire is keep your air pressure up to specification. That's the most important thing.
Most important thing.
The air pressure itself, it does change over time. When it gets cold outside, the air pressure drops. When it gets hot outside, the air pressure increases. Your air pressure is always supposed to be checked when it's cold. You always check it cold, not hot. So how do you set your tire pressure? To what specification do you set your tire pressure? Basically, in the vehicle, when you open the driver's side door, you'll see on the door post or at the bottom of the door along the rocker panel, there's what they call a tire placard. It's basically a sticker that tells you what size tire is supposed to be on the car, what load rating of tire, what speed rating, and what tire pressure is supposed to be set at. What you do not want to do, and people make this mistake all the time, what you do not want to do is you do not want to go by what's on the side of the tire. On the side of the tire, you're going to see a maximum inflation pressure. That truly is a maximum pressure. Right. It's not the actual tire specification. It's not what the manufacturer wants in that tire. So going by the tire placard, the actual sticker on the door jamb, is what you want to go by. It's usually going to be, depending on the vehicle, it can be anywhere from 32 pounds to 50 pounds or more than that even, it could be whatever it is. So always go by that tire placard, and that's how you want to determine what tire pressure to put in the front and the rear. Oftentimes the front's different than the rear. Whatever it says, that's what you go by. That's how you know what to put in the tire. So from there, all of our vehicles now have tire pressure monitors. So if the tire pressure gets low enough, the monitor will turn on and you'll see a tire pressure indicator come on showing the tire is low to give you the warning that the tire is low. But with that being said, if the tire pressure is not excessively low, that light won't come on. So you can be riding around with tires that are somewhat deflated, but the light still won't be on. The problem with that is when the tires are deflated, they wear more rapidly. The car doesn't handle as well. It's not as safe under braking, handling maneuvers when you're trying to swerve, maybe miss something, an accident, something like that. So tire pressure is very, very important, and going by the tire placard is what you need to do.
Yep.
Right? So from there, something we run into a lot is the improper tires being put on the car. So that same tire placard, it also tells you what tire is supposed to be on the car. It gives you the size of the tire, gives you the load index, it gives you the speed rating, it gives you everything you need to know about what should be on the car. Now, being a lot of our cars are performance oriented, the tires on our vehicles, they tend to be kind of expensive. They're a little pricey. So when you go to, especially to an aftermarket source to get tires, a lot of times the tire they'll sell you is a more affordable tire, but may not actually meet the load or the speed rating.
Right.
So how do you know what you're buying? So on the tire placard itself, it's going to give you the size of the tire. Let's say 245, 40R20 with a load rating of 101 and maybe a speed rating of H, let's just say. All right, so all those numbers mean something. 245 is what's known as the section width. It's the actual width of the tire from the outside of the sidewall to the outside of the sidewall. If it's 245, that's 245 millimeters. That's the actual width of the tire. This being the tread, this being the sidewalls, 245 millimeters. The next number, 40. 40 is your aspect ratio. It's a percentage. So if it's 245 is your width, 40% of that is the top portion of the tire above the wheel. 40% is the bottom portion of the tire below the wheel. So 40%, 40%. So it's 245 is the width, 98 millimeters is your aspect ratio on the top, and 98 millimeters is your aspect ratio on the bottom. So that's what that means, 245, 40. R means radial construction. 20, let's say in this example, 20 would be 20-inch wheel diameter. That's how big the wheel is. So, okay, so now you know it's a 245, it's a 40, and it's a 20-inch wheel. So, okay, so that gets you in the right direction. Now we get to the next numbers. You got, like, let's say 101H. So 101 is a load index. The higher that number, the more weight in pounds or kilograms that the tire itself can carry. The higher the number, the more weight it can carry. So if your vehicle, let's say, says 101H, and somebody sells you a tire that's 99H, 99 doesn't have the load rating of a 101. Right. Although it fits, looks good, everything seems to be fine, it does not carry the same load rating as a 101. So you literally have the wrong tire in the car. You could have a 245 40R20, 99H, it's the wrong tire. If it's a 101H, that's what's supposed to be on the car.
Now, why is that important? It's going to wear faster, right?
Well, it's going to wear faster. It's actually the load rating. How much weight can it support? So basically, that's designed by the engineer who makes the car, so that if you have, like, let's say the car's full of luggage, it's full of occupants, you've got the maximum load in the car. Okay, so you've got the maximum load in the car, you're driving, the tires are getting hot, right? They're designed to handle that load. Right. If the tire can handle that load, the tire can overheat, it can even blow out. Yeah. If it's far enough off, it can actually blow apart. You just can't take the heat, right. You know. So 101 is very, very important. Then H is your speed rating. For example, H, just as an example, H is 130 miles per hour. That means that tire can travel safely at 130 miles per hour if it's the correct load rating, right? If it's a 99H in a car that's heavy, that tire can get overheated, and then all of a sudden that H rating, that speed rating, doesn't apply any longer because you got the wrong load rating. Mm-hmm. So 101H can handle if that's what's specified for your vehicle, can handle the weight of the vehicle at 130 miles per hour, maximum speed. And then from there are other, there's all different types of tire codes. Like I said, 99, 101 for load. As far as speed rating, H, S, T, V, W, Y, Z. They all mean different things. They all basically, the letter designate is related to the mile per hour rating of the tire, how fast you can safely travel with the tire. And the 101 or the 99 prior to that, is the load index, how much weight it can handle.
But if somebody says, like, I'm never going to do 130 miles an hour, Larry, why is it important that I still go with the correct speed rate?
Well, like I said, the tire is engineered the engineers design the car, and they dictate the tire that's supposed to be on the car. So if you want to take a chance, if you want to take it upon yourself to think you know more than the engineer who built that car, by all means, go for it. We're not going to do that. We are never going to do that. We see it all the time, so we're not the only people who know that information, but there are people who are selling you tires that are giving you a cheaper tire, and you're buying it and you're installing it. It's the wrong tire for the car. It's the wrong tire. Like you just said, the reality is this: 100%, honest. If you never drive 130 miles per hour, you never load the car down totally, that tire will probably work for you. Is it the right tire for the car? Absolutely not. Is it a tire we would install? Absolutely not. We just don't do that.
No, we're going to go with manufacturer recommendations.
Every single time. Yeah. Like I say, like we'd mentioned once before, engineers, they do things for a reason. They don't just say, well, let's just come up with a number and throw it out there.
Right.
It's, the tire is engineered. The car is engineered a specific way, and the tire is designated for that car. Plain and simple. So as far as that's concerned, so that gives you an idea about tire sizing and load rating and speed rating. So then from there, basically what we need to look at is just tire maintenance. So from that point forward, you're looking at rotating your tires and balancing your tires. Okay. So think about why would you rotate your tires? Well, think about it like this. Think about the fact that the rear tires are basically traveling in a straight line most all the time. Okay, the front tires steer the vehicle. They steer the vehicle. So if the vehicle, let's say your vehicle weighs 4,000 pounds and you're driving down the road at 70 miles per hour and you go to change lanes. The vehicle wants to go straight. It doesn't want to go to the right or to the left. It doesn't want to do that. But the front tires make it do that. Okay, so if the front tires say, okay, we're going to the right or we're going to the left, they are scrubbing. Right? They literally are physically scrubbing the ground as they make the car go left or go right. Car wants to go straight. The vehicle wants to travel in a straight line. So you're going around corners, or even in parking lot maneuvers. When you turn, tire scrubs against the ground. You back up, tire scrubs against the ground. You pull forward. So the front tires are they're going to basically develop more tire wear, plain and simple. If you're traveling at a fairly high rate of speed around a turn, the tire itself will actually deflect and roll over, which wears the edges of the tires. So if you go to the right, the tire wears the outside edge on the left. You go to the left, on the left front tire, it'll wear the inside edge. The tire deflects as you make turns. So therefore, it wears the outside edges of the tires more readily. They scrub. They just tend to wear more readily, plain and simple. So if you want to get the most life out of your tires, you want to rotate them. Take the rear tires, put them on the front. Take the front tires, put them on the back. Rotate them, on a regular basis. You'll get the greatest life out of the tire. Right. Now, as far as basically the performance of the tire, as far as comfort, drivability, balancing your tires periodically is a good thing. As tires wear, the balance can change.
Right.
As you hit potholes and chucks in the road, whatever, that can also change the actual inner structure of the tire to some degree, and it'll become somewhat out of balance.
You get that nice little.
Yeah, you start getting a little vibration or what have you. So if you don't want to deal with that, if you want the vehicle to drive as good as possible until the time the tires need to be replaced, you should periodically balance them. If the tire becomes out of balance enough, the tire can actually, as it rotates, can start to hop. If it starts to hop, it'll beat the tire to death.
Right.
You know, the tire gets all cupped up and chewed up, and it just really aggressively wears the tires. And once that starts to occur, once the tire gets chopped up or cupped, the driving sensation is horrible, and you can't fix that. There's no way around. You just cannot fix that after that occurs. The tire, if you want to get rid of that sensation, tires be replaced.
Right.
So basically, you definitely want to make sure you keep up with your tire pressures. Tire pressures do change over time. The wheel and tire assembly is not hermetically sealed. You know, it is sealed pretty well, but it tends to lose a little pressure here and there. Plus, when it gets cold, pressures drop. You know, it gets hot, pressures get higher. So tire pressure is very important for tire wear, tire life, very important. So air up your tires, follow your tire placards, rotate your tires on a regular basis.
Alignment.
And
Alignment's pretty important too.
Alignment's important also. You know, the alignment's very important. Over time, the vehicle, the bushings that are in the suspension, they wear, the vehicle settles to some degree. The alignment changes over time. It just does. It's normal. You know, so periodically having an alignment done, especially when you put new tires on the car, it's an awesome time to do it right then. Put on 4 new tires, have the vehicle realigned. Now, instead, from that point forward, rotate and balance your tires on a regular basis, keep your air pressure up, you're good to go.
And it'll much smoother ride, longer life.
Longer
even
life.
in some cases can help with fuel economy.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Tire pressure most certainly affects fuel economy. If your tire pressure is down, you're going to get much worse fuel economy if the tire pressure is correct. Right? So overinflated tires, they tend to wear heavily in the center. Underinflated tires wear heavily on the edges. So you just got to know that.
Yeah. Think about a balloon. If I had one, I'd show you.
Yeah.
Take a balloon, squeeze it this way, it goes out. So edges hit. Squeeze it this way, it goes up. So too much air, wearing on the center. Not enough air, edges.
That's correct. That's exactly right. Yep. And in low tire pressure, sure enough, it rolls. There's a lot of friction, so it tends to roll with a lot of resistance. So therefore, your fuel economy goes down. Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much, Larry. Awesome. So that was tires, a quick little snippet of what to do with your tires. If you have any questions or comments, concerns, please put it in the comments. We'll be back with you next week. We'll keep talking maintenance. Until then, thank you so much. Have a great day.
Thank you.